Hi everybody, welcome back. In our last video, or one of our last videos, I made Next Gen Mater and I painted him to match the color of young Mater. Everyone knows that. Mater was blue when he was young, but as he got old, he got all rusty and lost his engine hood. And if you saw Cars 1, at the very end of the show, Mater was fishing with his hook over the side of a bank and he pulled up his hood and he put it on and then he sneezed and he lost his hood again. So it was pretty funny. So here's Next Gen. I repainted the whole truck again, a color more suitable. See how much better it is now? And I didn't put anything on his front yet. So I'm going to try and fix up his front right now. I'm going to put some headlights on him and a grill and a smile. Okay, so let's get the camera on the tripod and see if I can fix Mater up to how he would look as Next Gen. I might even put 95 on the side. Okay, so let's get organized here. Okay, let's prop up the car so we can see it side by side. Let's see if I can make it match. Okay, we've got 3 Maters here, look. Okay, and it looks like at one point he had gray eyes as a kid, as a young Mater, so I'm going to put gray headlights on. I mean gray headlights, not eyes. I'm going to try something different this time. I was using a brush. I'm going to try a screwdriver to see if I can get a better deposit without getting any smears. Okay, I'm just going to put a drop of gray. And since this is old Mater, this is before he lost his headlight. So regular Mater has 1 headlight, but young Mater has 2, so he's going to get 2 headlights. And like I said, this brush, this here screwdriver, is doing a better job than a brush because I can just be very accurate with it. See, that looks pretty good. Now Mater doesn't have, he got 2 white teeth, so let's see if I can use the same screwdriver to make teeth on Mater that looks like Mater's teeth. Okay, we're gonna have probably gonna have a square like that and one next to it, and one on the right's a little bit bigger, so let's separate them a little bit and come up right there. Okay, that's not bad. Now I'll try and get this a little bit bigger just to match, and that's pretty close to Mater, see? And on top he has 4 lights. I'm going to put 4 gray lights on there using the same screwdriver. Like, I don't usually use a screwdriver for a paintbrush, but I'm going to today. Now, just put my finger to paint. Okay, 4 gray. Well, they were orange, so let me change that to orange lights. Hang on a second. Okay, I got the orange paint there. I'm going to paint 4 little lights right here. Going pretty good. Okay, one more. This is actually working pretty good. Now, as you notice, that Mater does not have a tow hook because he's retired. He doesn't do this anymore. He's Next Gen retired Mater. That's what we're going to call it in the video. Next Gen retired. Now, let me think. Should I put 95 on the side in honor of Lightning McQueen? I should probably put that on there. What do you think? Maybe in red. Okay, I'll try that because he is Lightning McQueen's, you know, best friend. Oops. Okay, I get some red paint there. Now I'm going to put 95 on the doors as a tribute to Lightning. There goes, using my trusty screwdriver. Should have used this for a lot more, don't you think? Because it's doing a pretty good job compared to my paintbrushes. See? It's like writing with a pen. This is pretty cool. Next Gen Mater. Now I took, like I said, the tow hook wasn't in Smoky, so I didn't bother putting it in. Okay, let's turn it around without getting my fingers on it. Okay, here goes. See if I can do 95 on the side too. Looking good. And yeah, I didn't like the way it looked the last time because the paint was way off. So I mixed up some new paint. Got a really good color. I didn't show you, I didn't record me painting it because I didn't know how it was going to turn out, so I just did it on my own. Would have been a nice video actually, because it came out way better. Okay, there's 95 on the side. Then in the back, a couple of lights on the back. Let's turn it around. Some red lights on the back where his tail lights go. Whoops. And let's see, nothing written on the back. Oh, it's a bunch of hazards. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to leave that just like that because he's retired. He doesn't have to worry about that stuff. Oh, darn, I just got my finger on the roof. Okay, let's try and clean that up. Too late. Okay, I have to leave that for now. I'll fix it later. Okay, let's have a look at Mater, Next Gen. There's the paint I used, little dabs, and see if it looks better this time, except for that piece on top. There, next gen Mater with his teeth fixed up and his headlights on, and 95 on the side. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll fix that on the roof later. Thanks for watching, people. I really appreciate you watching the videos, and feel free to subscribe and watch more. There's Mater, Young Mater, and there's Precision Mater with the actual torque that actually works. Look. Oh, here it is here. There's Mater with the torque that works. Look. Okay, that's Precision Mater. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Send your comments and ideas in the comment section while you still can.